in the city. Another gray, gloomy, it's a typical day of Portland. 15 train 1. Thank God I'm not driving that thing. As crappy as the 57 is, I mean the 67, it's better than the 15. Although they probably have brakes, but I'd rather, I said it before, I'd rather have a run like the 15 without a brake than the 15 with a brake. Those high density runs are just crap, you know. Just can't take them anymore. Anyway, yeah, you know, the TriMet issued this interesting little interactive solve our budget problem thing, and they ask you a bunch of questions. But should we be surprised? They've propagandized it in the body of their little interactive tool. There is a little statement about how our benefits are the worst in the nation. You know, I never even know if that's true, because I've heard Muni is worse, Chicago is worse. You know, we've never actually seen any comparisons to the highest transit districts. I mean, look at Muni, for example. They make a fortune over there, and they're trying to tell us that we're unsustainable. Of course, Muni job is from hell. That makes the 15 look like a country drive if you're ever down in San Francisco. Check out the Muni. God, oh boy. I would not want to drive a transit bus in the city of San Francisco, or Boston, which is where I grew up, or New York, which is where I spent plenty of time. Oh, there goes the police around the corner there. They better not pull over somebody. Let's see what's going on here. Maybe there's an accident. Uh-oh, not that. Whenever you see them turning around like that, that means going back up the highway. That could mean trouble on the highway. Uh-oh, not that, not that. Let's see what awaits us. Yeah, so that's very troubling that the, let's see, did he get through the mess here? He just bowled his way through. She's having, phone has disappeared. Did the police, okay, the highway is still moving, so that's a good sign. So yeah, I don't, you know, there's really little doubt that there really is a war going on against us on all fronts. It's against us personally, and against us organizationally, and against us publicly. It's obvious with that particular post. It becomes obvious that there's some kind of a problem with the management and how they're dealing with us. There's an absolute propaganda war going on. And when you listen to that new guy, what was his name? The director of, the new director of human relations or whatever, it becomes very apparent. Uh-oh. Here come the brake lights. Oops, you. There is an accident here. I was worried about this. What's happening? What? There's a bunch of cops up there. What's the problem? I don't know, but I'm getting over. Oh, there's a fire truck. He's going the wrong way though. Is he going to be able to turn around? We'll stay. What's happening? What's happening here? Did the car off the road or something? Oh, it must be, a car must be down in the ditch. What? I don't see anything. Somebody's on the loose. What's going on? Must be a car down there. I mean, that's got to be a car somewhere down there because there's the rescue truck and the fire. They wouldn't be calling no fire engine out of it or like an escaped criminal or something. Wow. Somebody drove off the side of the road. But the cops are just looking around. I mean, I don't see them going down there, so who knows what's happening. Maybe we'll read about it later. There's always something exciting happening on US 26. Very troubling. Anyway, that guy, I forgot his name already, but who, by the way, I thought was staring at me. He was all the way on the other side of the room at that board meeting, but it sure looked to me like he was staring at me. And it wouldn't be surprising if that were actually the case. You know, having been a real famous personality, a pain in their butt, I wouldn't be surprised. Sorry. Which then leads me to the next point, you know, which was union pay, where there's a big discussion about how much the union officers receive in compensation. And it occurred to me that the union people, the more they get, the less willing they're going to be to rock the boat, because rocking the boat means jeopardizing your big paycheck. And that's absolutely the truth. That's absolutely fact. And then, see, the whole world goes around like that. Everybody that's paid well is very likely to continue whatever activity they're being paid to do. And you're not likely to sabotage your paycheck. For example, if you really took TriMet head on, you'd be jeopardizing your paychecks because there might be a strike or something would happen. I mean, you know, personal sacrifice on the part of the union officer. And they're hauling in some good coin. They're hauling in $130,000 for Sam and John. Okay, that's 4 times the amount of what I make. Okay, and I work 30 hours a week. And they make 4 times the amount that I make without having to drive a bus. Basically, they're bureaucrats again. They're not actually providing any services to anyone. I have a problem with that. I absolutely have a problem with that. I don't, you know, I just see it as another wing of wasteful bureaucracy, because basically, okay, the union, without the union, you wouldn't get any job protections, you wouldn't get decent pay and benefits. That's a given. I understand that. But as unionism has evolved in this country, it has evolved itself into a very plush position for the people who are in charge of these unions. And if you watch the little production about why unions, in Europe there's all kinds of massive strikes, labor leaders are out, here there's nothing. And why is that? Because the union leaders don't push back. And why don't they push back? Because they're too fat and happy. They're fat and happy. They don't give a shit about us, really. They say they do, but it's just like everything else. You know, they say we care, but in reality, you care about your fat paycheck. I mean, I don't know what you're doing all day to make that kind of money, but I don't think it's earned. I would say that money, you're earning that money on the same level as Mary Fitch. You're some kind of public relations people getting a big fat paycheck to do public relations. And you're making too much money. There's no union officer should be in a 6-figure category as far as I'm concerned. Okay, it's just not right, you know. Look at the idiot just fucking dodged 4x4. We Americans, we love our fucking big ass fucking cars. When will fucking peak fuel hit and all these fucking people be fucking screwed? Yeah, so I have a real problem with these salary scales. It's too much of a career opportunity and too little of an actual activism position. I compared it to me, okay? I said, look at me. I'm the #1 shit stirrer here. I'm the #1. I'm a nobody. I make no money for the blog. And I make not that much money. I think my pay was $35,000 last year at TriMet. It was low. The only thing I really need there is the health insurance, I guess. And I don't even need that, really. I'm healthy. But they have us all scared into thinking that, oh, if something happens, you'll be wiped out. Well, let me tell you, 2 or 3 billion people on the planet survive without health insurance. Some of them even survive to old age without the advanced medical apparatus that we have here. The whole idea that you absolutely got to have it, I think it's a complete con game. I think a lot of the procedures that they prescribe for us are completely wasteful and unnecessary. But nevertheless, it's probably a good thing to have, because when something does happen, it's nice to be able to go to the doctor without having to. But I mean, you know what I'm trying to get at. The point that I'm trying to make is, of course, is that the more you make, the less willing you are to rock the boat, because just about everybody becomes compromised by money. You know, money, getting these paychecks. You know. While they tout the Great Recession, this is the ultimate in insulting shit too. While they tout the Great Recession these guys are getting fat. Okay, how dare you talk about the Great Recession when you're getting fat as a hog? This is what really gets my goat, is how they talk about the Great Recession all the while. They're fucking making fortunes. There's no fucking recession for you. There is no Great Recession. It just depends on who you are. It's a fraud is what it is. First of all, it was manufactured by the banks. It was never real. And second of all, it's a complete fraud, because there's plenty of people that are doing great around here, including TriMet, everybody that works there, including me. I'm not saying otherwise. And here they are cracking down on the fare cheats. These are the little people without any money. And here you have the cops all over the road looking for any kind of traffic violation. See, the little guy, and this is, I guess it was Salente who pointed out that when great empires start collapsing, they start picking on the little guy. Okay, that's what happens. And obviously you see how these governmental agencies, such as TriMet and the police, are picking on the little guy. I mean, every little chance they get, they're pulling you over, especially in this city. Okay, Portland's not so bad about the traffic shit, but out here it's horrible. I mean, you just see them pulling over people all day long out here. It's unbelievable. And when I was driving that 58, they'd be pulling people over constantly. There's nothing wrong with enforcing the traffic laws, but let's be serious about it. And as far as I'm concerned, go ahead. Go. These kids are trying to cross the street. You gotta let them cross the street. As far as I'm concerned, every fare evader should get a warning before they're getting a ticket. Alright, I don't believe in, no tolerance. You come in, I don't believe, unless you have 100% reliability of your fare instruments, of your fare purchasing stuff, it's just not right. It's just not right. There should be always a warning before a citation. It's just general practice. You know, you don't know who you're dealing with. Maybe they've never ridden the system before. They couldn't figure. You have to be somewhat tolerant. You know, a country that has this zero tolerance attitude is the kind of country that you don't want to be associated with, because the zero tolerance means that anytime you step out of line, they will throw you in jail, and that means there's no ifs, ands, or buts. We're not going to listen to any kind of reasonable explanation.